Together with Mike Bain. Thanks for listening. And you probably noticed that this episode is late. Well, hey man, it was fucking Christmas. What do you want me to do? First time I've had a later episode is because of Christmas, but there is also something else happening that I had meant to explain to you all, but I haven't really had the time because I had to schedule the shows I was trying to get out. I've recorded a lot of the interviews weeks beforehand and do most of my solos literally that week. And so my producer, Rob, as you guys have come to know, well, Rob's his actual name anyway. I don't know why I'm saying come to know. That's his real fucking name, Michael. I should lie. Poor bastard has a real job. He doesn't want to be connected to me and the shenanigans I have going on here. Well, either way, Rob is in Colombia visiting his fiancée. And as a result, because the studio we have built is in Rob's condo in Boston, I cannot record anymore. Now I have one more interview ready, scheduled to go, and I have some great ones lined up for the future. And obviously we're really getting our thing together there. I'm not sure exactly when he's going to be back, probably for several weeks. So what I decided was this. I can't work right now. My shows are few and far between, only in the great state of New Hampshire. And the greatest state of New Hampshire. I live for a die in New Hampshire. And in the great state of New Hampshire, I've been able to do some performing. But it has largely been limited. And I'm not sure with things getting worse, depending on where you're listening. In New England, if the lockdown's going to cut down my shows that I had scheduled in Maine, it already cut down some of the ones I had scheduled in New Hampshire. So it's been a tough run, and I said, what the fuck? Basically, am being forced into another lockdown, and Florida taught me that I can go live, and I don't have to wait for lockdown to be over to start living again. So what I decided was that my brother and I, and potentially a third friend, are going to go to Colombia for a few weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, and we are going to travel. We're going to have adventures. We are going to document it. I'm going to make a travel vlog. I feel so dirty about myself saying the word vlog. I really do. I feel like just saying that I'm making a vlog deserves a right hook right to the fucking jaw. There's no manly way to say I have a blog. There's no manly way to say I have a vlog. It's like when you're a grown man and you say things like, I tweeted, and you go, dude. Why don't you just saying, I tweeted this, or I vlogged this, is equivalent of saying, well, I pissed my pants around 3 p.m. Although pissing your pants could be due to a medical condition, a certain level of incontinence, or just alcoholism, all of which I feel like are more acceptable than a vlog. But that's something I have to get over. If you're going to do big things, and if you want to be noticed, you have to get over the fear of judgment of others. And basically, just do your thing. And I basically said, I had wanted to do this in Asia. That's not going to fucking happen, because I was talking to a girl in Thailand who I was supposed to shack up with when I went out there. I met her off of OkCupid. Her name's Katie. We were going to have so much fun. Oh, baby. We're going to get into some shenanigans out there in Bangkok. And Katie told me, she goes, we're basically having a second lockdown, and going cross borders the way I had originally intended to isn't likely to happen. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to take the money I've been holding on to for that, and I'm going to go to Colombia, because Colombia is amazingly cheap. Flights were cheap, lodging is cheap, food is amazing, and it's also cheap. $1 American nets you roughly 3,000 pesos. I think it's exactly 2,800, but I'm just going to round up to 3. We'll say 3,000 pesos for $1 American. And I've learned not to travel to Europe and live like a papa, but to travel to Latin America or Asia, or in the future at some point I'm sure I'll go to Africa and live like a fucking king. And so I'm going to go. I'm going to keep living, and I'll be back. And so Jesus fucking Christ, Mike. Longest way in the world to say I am taking a break temporarily from the podcast. It will be back. I appreciate all of you for listening. I really do, man. I can't say that enough. I felt like I was really starting to hammer home with some of the interviews. I know I only had 3, but the one with Jason, I got amazing reviews on. We had a ton of fun. As for the one with Sean, and I have an amazing one lined up for you right when I get back that I have to edit and post with a man named Ed who tells a pretty fucking amazing story about getting sober from opioids in Bosnia. And he was in Herzegovina, and it was fucking. It's a rad fucking story, dude, and there's a lot of info in there for people who, if you're suffering from addiction or have a loved one, it's gonna be fucking monumental towards getting them help. And then I have some other ones in the works as well, so I'm really looking forward to the change that we're making, and I also, think I'm gonna come back a different man. Not totally different, man. I'll still be just as funny, but his adventure is going to be good for me. And one thing I've learned is don't wait to live. That's my parting wisdom for you. Do not wait to fucking live. Live. And take that however you will. That doesn't mean that you're going to quit your job tomorrow and go on a vacation, but it means this. Don't sit around and come up with excuses or allow fear to prevent you from doing what you want to do. I know right now it sounds asinine, but it's true. And I've done it my whole life. I have found excuses under every fucking rock and behind every crevice for why I can't or shouldn't do things that I want to do. And at the end of the day, it usually amounts to fear. And what I've seen right now around me, the vibe of where I've been at, is I've been in Mass for a few days for the holidays. It's a lot of fucking fear. And you don't gotta live like that, man. You don't. Maybe you just want to spend a weekend in Toledo. I don't fucking know. Maybe you just want to date that chick or that dude or that dog or that cat. Whatever it is, man, figure it the fuck out and live. All right? Start living. Whatever that may be for you. Don't, if you're just passing time, right, waiting to die, and you know what that is. I don't have to detail it for you because it comes in many different forms, but we've all done it. All right? Fucking, how about don't do it? Get your fucking shit together, man. Find a way, and trust me, I know more than anyone. And don't be afraid to look at something that betters you as an investment in yourself. Don't think of travel as this decadent thing, when in reality it's going to add to who you are as a human being. You know, a lot of people that'll invest their money in a lot of places that'll fucking gamble $3,000 on a Sunday on the Patriots. Little drop $1,000 on a Tuesday on the Browns, on the Cleveland fucking Browns. But they could have used that money to go somewhere or to take a class or whatever and invest in them. Invest in yourselves. I hope you had a good fucking holiday. And here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add in, I was listening to some old recordings as I've started performing again, and the shows aren't what they used to be. They're mostly in movie theaters. They're not great, but they are better than nothing. And I miss live comedy. And so what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to upload a 25-minute, 30-minute clip of me performing at the Comedy Connection in East Providence, Rhode Island, right before all of this nonsense with COVID happened, because I came across it. It was a really fun set. I don't know if you've heard these jokes before. Some of them were polished jokes. Some of them were stuff I was trying to work out, and you will know the fucking difference. And I know a lot of comedians normally wait till their stuff is completely polished, but I said, fuck it, man. You know, I'm trying to come up with new stuff because of everything that's going on in the world. And what the hell, man? A lot of people have listened to my stuff, but they haven't heard any of my stand-up. A lot of you are like, oh, Mike's a comedian, but you've seen my Instagram stuff. You probably haven't seen many of my stand-up clips. So here is a audio clip of that show. It is not the best, but is what I have as far as audio quality. But it actually came out pretty well, and I think you guys will enjoy it. And fuck it, man. Until I come back, it's going to hold you over. And I hope you guys have a good year. I will let you all know when I'm back. How are you going to let them know, Mike? You going to send them a fucking personalized telegram? No, other Mike. I'm going to fucking... Oh, I'm so sleepy. I have not been sleeping because I've been planning for this trip and dealing with Christmas stuff. You are going to... I don't know, I'm going to post on social media, you fucking dunce. And they've already subscribed, so they'll get the downloads. All right, there we go. Anyway, Merry fucking Christmas. Happy New Year. Hanukkah, if you do that. Kwanzaa, if by some chance someone listening to me. I honestly don't feel like people do Kwanzaa anymore. Kwanzaa was definitely a 90s holiday that did not make it into the new millennium. I think there were a lot of black people that tried it, and then they were like, dude, fuck this. I like presents. I like 40 presents under a tree, okay? Even if it's delivered by White Santa. I'd rather White Santa than whoever than the Kwanzaa shaman. I'm not sure who they have. Either way, ladies and gents, without further ado, here's my thing, and hopefully by the time when I talk to you next, I will not be kidnapped. I will not be dead, and I'm really excited for the stuff I'm going to release. You know what? I'm not going to call it a vlog. It is a video podcast while I travel. There we go. I don't sound like a fucking douche. I'm going to do my video podcast as I travel, and yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for sticking with me along this journey. And as I come back, the podcast, as far as I'm concerned, is going to get a lot better. I really, really have enjoyed interviewing people, and I think I'm going to get some really good guests on. So, enjoy. Peace.
Next comic coming to the stage, just finished being at the Boston Comedy Festival. Please give it up for Mr. Mike Bain.
What's up, Rhode Island? How you guys doing? Good. Glad to hear that. Glad you guys are here. I'm happy to be here. I like Rhode Island. Not a lot of people say that, but I do. You guys are probably the best state in New England. I'm from Boston. I give you guys credit. Absolute credit. Because you guys like to have fun. You know? That's why Roger Williams made Rhode Island. He was in Massachusetts, and he's like, fucking Puritans. He goes, I want strip clubs, indoor prostitution, and medical marijuana. And he said, have we got a place for you? Like, you guys still have character here. Boston's been gentrified. It's just an Abercrombie and Fitch commercial. We get all the rich kids from Connecticut. And I live in New York now, and that's just as bad. But you guys still have grit and character, you know? I talk about New England to people in other places. I explain Providence. I'm like, they had a mayor who put a cigar out on a reporter's face. People are like, did that hurt him in the next election? I go, no, I'm pretty sure it helped him. Everyone in Providence is like, you know what? This is a guy who gets it. I was talking to my mother-in-law yesterday. 2 minutes into the conversation, I was like, I want to put a cigar on your forehead. I like where I'm at now, man. I like being in New York because I'm single now. I got out of a 7-year toxic relationship and started over. It's good. It's fun. You know when you watch people fighting all the time and you're like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. It's fun. But it's a great place for me to be in the city because there's just so many people to bang. There's 9 million people. Whatever weird thing you got going on, there's going to be someone into you. Statistically speaking. All right? You might be an amputee in Staten Island. Someone in Manhattan likes that. You just take a boat and you make it work. It doesn't work that way in other places. You know, women, you have power there when you get on social media, when you get on dating apps like Tinder. It's not like that if you're a girl on Tinder and Woonsocket. It's like, who is it? Kevin. Amputee Kevin? Yeah, the dude with the wood chipper. Not the same. But it's broadened my horizons, man. I get to I've met styles of women I didn't know existed, ethnicities I didn't know existed. I've met gender identities previously didn't know existed. My new favorite group of people to hook up with now, genderqueer people. One, new group of people, numbs it through the roof. But two, more importantly, genderqueer people usually don't like the pronouns he or she. They prefer the pronouns they and them. So now when I talk about the sex I've had, it just sounds so much more braggadocious. I'll be on a job site and I go, oh, Frank, dude, I had the best lay ever last night. He goes, really? She was that good? And I go, no, Frank, they were that good. How many people do you smash? Wouldn't you like to know, huh? But if you're still holding out on they and them, because it took me a while to get used to it, there's some incentive. Fuck it and fight it. Because if I get my ass kicked, I hope it's by someone genderqueer, non-binary, that when my dudes see me with a black eye and they go, oh man, what happened to you? I go, dude, they came out of nowhere. You want to go back and jump them? No, I got a couple licks in. I think that they have learned their lesson. I'm going to leave this there. And I'm trying to evolve as a person. I'm trying to be a better man to myself, in my family, in my life. I'm trying, but I want to stay true to me. And it's got me in this weird position because I realize I want to be better, but the true me is kind of a piece of shit. So am I just going to be a better piece of shit? Or do I deny who I really am? And I don't know what to do. Like, I'm sober now. Or, it's not entirely true. That's kind of a lie. How do I put this? I am selectively sober, okay? I don't drink anymore. I still get high. I can't responsibly drink. I can responsibly snort cocaine. Just 2 or 3 lines from me. That's it. Now, I was never big into blow anyway, because coke, number 1, is a rich man's drug, and 2, have you ever done it without alcohol? It's the worst. You just sit there and you go, I spent $100 to have an anxiety attack and a soft dick. This is my Saturday. This is what I signed up for. This is it. But I miss it, man. I don't miss, like, alcohol or drinking. I just miss a good blackout. Oh, man. Well, it was all about the blackouts for me. I would just chug a pint of Jaeger. I just watch that last drop go down and be like, it's going to get weird in 15 minutes. Because I drank because I didn't want to deal with my life's problems. Like, if I had rent due at the end of the week and I had half that money in my bank account, I'd just drink and I wouldn't care. But I tried replacing that with other stuff, like weed. It doesn't work with weed. Because I'll take weed edibles, and I'll overdose on weed edibles, and then I'll remember problems I forgot I had. It's just Wednesday, 3 a.m., and I'm staring at my bedroom ceiling going, did I pay my taxes? Are taxes an every year thing, or is it every other year? Because I'll just remember things from years ago that I thought were done with. Like, when I was 17, I sent out that dick pic on AIM with my face in it. How many people still have that pic? And what happened to AIM? And dude, I don't have these answers, man. But I had to stop, dude. I had to, because I was ruining my life. I was going to work wrecked. You ever gone to work blackout drunk? It's amazing. It's like getting paid for something you didn't do. I would sit at home and open up paychecks. Go, I didn't know I worked Thursday. 4 hours of overtime. I've never taken overtime in my life. Great. But it gets you, man. When you get older and you have responsibilities, it's not the same. It's when you're in your 30s and you go out drinking, you wake up the next day and you're like, I was supposed to be at work 3 hours ago and I don't know where my car is. That's not fun. But when you're 22, it's great. There's nothing better than a blackout when you have no responsibility and you wake up, you call your friends, when did I leave the bar? 11. You ask your roommates, when did I get home? 4 a.m. Ooh, looks like I get a mystery to solve. The second greatest thing to the blackout is when you get to play shit-faced Sherlock. It's a lot easier nowadays because you get to piece things together with social media. You just look at an Instagram feed and see where you were at. In the old days, you had to find physical clues. You just go through your pockets and go, a Waffle House receipt. Friends like, Mike, dude, there's no Waffle Houses north of the Mason-Dixon line. Was I drunk for? I'm trying to evolve, and that's the problem I face, is that I'm trying to find better habits and better addictions to have, especially because I'm single now. I got to figure out how to be single and not drink and meet women that way, because I'm in this weird interim where I don't want to date crazy women anymore, but I also still want good sex, and it's... Can you have? They both have to come together, right? Isn't that how that works? Because I was dating a girl for a while. We were living together. And at one point, she got high on Klonopin and tried to stab me with a steak knife. And all my friends like, Mike, what are you doing, man? Get out of here. I go, dude, I get blowjobs every day. And the good ones, too. You know, not when you've been in a relationship for 4 years and they start going downhill. The effort isn't there. There's no love anymore. You're just giving it a lick like it's a Tootsie Roll Pop. You know what happens when she's comfortable and it turns into the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercial. Just a 1, a 2, a 3. If you didn't come by now, you're not coming. Get comfortable, doesn't it? I'll do it. I'm figuring I'm dating outside of dating women from other countries, and that's been opened up my horizons. You know, there's all of the worlds out there because I grew up on Boston women, which is it's it's okay, but it's the dirty talk leaves something to be desired. Fuck me harder, guy. I'm just used to it as all, okay? I want something on the other side of the menu. It's, I met a girl from Taiwan, and at one point she said to me after sex, she goes, Mike, you're so sexy in your own way. Like, in my own way? She said, it's a compliment. I go, not here, it's not. And honestly, I'm pretty sure it's not in Taiwan either. What I've realized is just, we shame each other as Americans. We're kind of tight-ass about sex. We're not as bad as Saudi Arabia, but we're not like the Europeans or the South Americans. They're just free. Like I was seeing a Brazilian girl, and she was so practical about just wanting to have sex. She was just like, oh, we can go on a date, and if things work out, I'll go back to your place. And I was like, whoa, just honest? We're just going to be honest? Because as Americans, we all do that thing. We go on a date, and we pretend we're there for some other reason other than sex. I'm over it. I tell women what I want right away. I don't care. I'm not. It's such a weird game that we have to dance around. Because you don't want to seem like you're just into her for sex, and she doesn't want to feel like she's made to be ashamed for sleeping with you. Which is like, are we that ashamed of each other that we can't just admit it? It's a weird dynamic. Thank you. Someone else wants it. It's a rough dynamic. But it's especially in a place like Massachusetts, they were like, oh, we're going to get a bunch of tight-ass people to found a state, Puritans. All right, who else has as much sexual shame as us? Catholics. Let's get them in. We're going to get all of us together, make this work. You know, I had a girl in my house, in my bed naked, and we're about to do it, and she goes, what did you think we're going to have sex? And I go, honestly, Susan, yeah, I did. I figured that was next up on the docket. I've been holding you like a bowling ball. I think this is the next move in the situation. Well, we love our shame, don't we? Oh, we love good shame. Shame, really. It starts off when you're a kid. When I was a fat kid, a big fat kid, already ashamed of myself. My mother came back from a bachelorette party in Cape Cod, right? Back in the olden times, before you just took digital pictures, you take pictures and then develop them. And my favorite thing was to look at pictures, real pictures in my hand, and I found my mother's pictures, just her and my aunt's putting dollar bills in a male stripper's thong. And I found all their paraphernalia. There were dick tacks, there was dickaroni, there was all manner of dick-shaped food. And as a fat kid, there was a lot to deal with. Because I had to have that debate, if I eat the dick tacks, does it make me gay? I ate them. I was fat. I ate them. I confessed. I went to confession, you know, sit there and tell all my shame to a priest. You know, yeah, I ate all the dick tacks. How many? The whole box. Oh, you nasty little bitch. You trying to get me in trouble? Is that what this is? 5 Hail Marys and 10 Our Fathers. You know, so I was already in it at that point because you come up with shame. I ate a cheeseburger on Good Friday, and my nana was like, you're going to hell. And I was like, that's it? Because that ruined me for later on. Because when I was a piece of shit later on in life, my father found me at 7, humping the couch. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, going to hell, old man. I'm already in it. But I like doing this, and I like traveling, and I like meeting other people in other cultures because it teaches me a lot about my own culture. For instance, did you know, it made me so happy to be an American because you know in other countries, toilet paper doesn't always just come with the bathroom. Like in Eastern Europe, you have to pay for it before you go in. You have to decide how much toilet paper you're going to need, and if you're a cheap prick, you have to come out again. But one of my favorite places I've been to is Ireland, and Ireland's an interesting country because, no, it's great. I mean, I don't know if I'll go back sober now, but it was great. And it's such a great place because the Irish don't speak their own language, and they really struggle with English, so... You throw a drinking problem in there, communication is not as strong. And I'm in a pub in Derry, and this drunk Irishman walks up to me and my Asian friend Song Bain, and points at Song Bain and goes, "Oi, do you know what you look like?" And I go, "Not something racist." And he goes, "Jackie Chan." Song Bain's Korean, Jackie Chan's Chinese. He didn't like the comparison. And it put me in an awkward position, because I had to turn to Song Bain, you know, and go, "Hey man, screw this guy. He's just a drunk, ignorant bigot." And then he points at me and he goes, "Oi, you know what you look like?" And I go, "Oh great, what ugly ginger bastard do I look like?" And he goes, "Brad Pitt." Oh, this guy's drunk. But that's also the greatest compliment I've ever received. And then I had to turn to Song Bain and go, "Hey, look, dude, I think this guy's onto something." Guys, thank you very much. That's it for me.
Give it all for Mike Bain.